is crazy and I'm turning on the light. There's no sleeping and I'm wide awake. It doesn't matter what approach I take to try to get some rest. What am I gonna do? 'Cause I just can't.
Look at that beautiful photograph right in front of your eyes. And it's only as beautiful as our next guest here on Wake Up and Live with the Arts, as Miss Barbara Barrett. We like to call her BJ. Is that okay?
Yes, that's
okay.
fine.
And I hate to do this, but we're sorors and friends from way back, way back. And she is a jazz vocalist par excellence. She has been building her career in and around Cleveland and the greater Ohio, Northeast Ohio area for a while now, and she's getting ready to bust loose on the national and international scene. So we want to talk to Miss Barbara Barrett about what's going on with you and your singing, my friend.
Well, what's going on with me and my singing is that I have been and still am a school nurse, the Cleveland Metropolitan School System. Been that for a long time, and I'm ready to do something else. So I'm working really on my music as primary.
And a lot of us performers are still holding down traditional jobs to pay for the creative stuff we love to do.
That paid for these CDs.
That paid. Now, what a wonderful segue. Hey, you did that real good, kid. Okay, and the first one here is Dawning.
Dawning, yes.
And it is, how many numbers are on it?
There are 10 numbers. The first and the 10th track are essentially the same. The first track is a remix of the 10th track. Mm-hmm. Now the story is we were doing it and I was telling my studio tech that I wanted it to sound like water. There's a whole story behind this CD. This is, long story short.
But didn't you say it was your recovery?
It's my divorce therapy.
Yes.
I thought that it would be a little bit better than talking about slicing tires and keying cars and busting out windows and things like that. So I did Dawning as divorce therapy.
What if I'm tired of looking ahead? What if I'd rather just stay in my bed? But she's a tailwind and she's pushing me straight ahead.
Yeah, and I wanted it to sound like water. So he thought about it, and he said at about 3 o'clock in the morning he had this idea, so he remixed it, and it sounds so watery. It's wonderful. It's just what I want. It's a little eclectic, but it's jazzy, kind of world.
And we're going to hear a little bit of your excerpts here on the show in a few minutes. Yes. So this was your divorce therapy.
Yes.
And your alternative to mayhem, murder.
That's right.
And everything else. And so this is one of your signature albums. Do you still perform this out in your public concerts?
You know what? I have only performed this. I'm working on changing some things up now. Let's just say that I think this is playing in Europe.
Hot dog.
And it's playing in Asia, South Africa. Not so much the United States. Some places in the United States, but this is kind of world.
Okay.
So that's the focus I'm taking now.
And so many of the musical artists do so well in the foreign countries, make their name before they can come back here, and people say, woo, wow.
Right, because I'm known as the nurse that sings sometimes instead of the singer who used to be a full-time nurse. That's what I'm trying to change it to.
I got you. Okay. So, and you have sung in Japan, is that correct?
No, I have not sung in Japan. No. I'm working on some things. Not Japan. Let's just say Europe.
Europe.
I'm working on it.
Sounds good to me. Because, and then you might, while you work on your European project there, you might also want to sing something from your other CD, Joyous? Would that happen?
Joyous, actually, yes, that CD, we can do that because all of them except for a couple are public domain. This one I did recorded live in concert for Black History Month at our church.
Okay, and
That's the first
shout out
one.
to your church if you care
St.
to.
Agnes Our Lady of Fatima Catholic Church on Lexington
Oh,
in
Lexington.
Huff.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
in the heart of the hood.
Where the best gospel music
That's right,
comes
gospel
from,
mass
honey.
every Sunday.
Yes,
Yes,
that would be it.
absolutely.
Okay, so you've got Joyce, you've got Donna. Anything else in the works in terms of studio work yet, or are you in between things?
I'm in between things right now. I think I would rather look at doing some traveling and moving around while I can.
Girl, you better stop.
Well,
But certainly, that's another way to generate income, as we know, as you write lyrics for other artists. And
Right.
certainly, do you compose as well, or are you a lyrics
I
person?
know. I wrote these. I wrote the charts. I did most of the changes. My nephew actually did help me with the changes on the first 3, I think. The rest of it, I wrote the lyrics and the music, the melody, all of that.
Okay, well,
So-
how did it happen of all the artistic genre? What spoke to you about being primarily a jazz artist? We know you sing other things, but how'd that come into your beingness?
You know, that's an interesting question because my background is European classical music. That's what I started with.
Really?
And there
Yeah.
is one song on here that's borderline classical, and there you can hear color, little hints of that in here too. But I think that classical to jazz was an easier segue than to some of the other genres. And then after I got comfortable with jazz and the improv aspect of it, then I was able to go to some of the others, soul and neo soul and some R&B, even some classic rock
Okay.
and some dance music. I really have sung quite a bit of music, multi-genre. So part of my brand for myself right now is beyond category. That's
Yes, I love that,
You know,
yes.
that's Duke Ellington's, to coin his phrase, beyond category.
Category,
Right.
yeah. Don't classify
Right.
me, don't pigeonhole me, yeah.
Right. It has its issues and challenges, but it also opens up a lot of possibilities, I think. I just have to remain diligent and find them.
Of course, and that's what your process, we just had the lady, we had Monica Moss talking about life mapping and creating your future and making your dreams come true.
I've had my
Yeah.
sessions with Monica, too.
Oh,
Yes, I have.
okay, well, it's beginning to work then, let's put
Yes.
it that way. You know, so now as a vocalist, and I usually do like to ask the different artists in terms of your inspiration, who do you kind of look to say, wow, I'd like to sing like that, or wow, I'd like to work with him or her, or your wow factor? Is there anybody in the industry that you kind of take a look at as a role model or inspiration?
You know, I take a role model inspiration from several artists, and again, across genres. I saw Marian Anderson years and years and years ago when I was little, singing opera, and when I sang with the Cleveland Orchestra Chorus, we did, I think it was a Mahler
Number?
It was a Mahler piece, and Marvis Martin was one of the soloists, Leontine Price. So those are kind of my classical mentors. But then you get to Sarah Vaughan, who I've been told I sound a little bit like her.
Yes.
And then Cassandra Wilson, I've been told I sound a little bit about her. Depends on what I'm singing.
Of course.
I like Chaka Khan's music. I like Jill Scott's music. I like some of everybody's music.
You know, Mariama White's doing something with a Chaka Khan
Yeah,
tribute.
she did that.
Is it already done?
I think so, yes.
Okay, yeah, she was on the show talking about that as well as everything else too.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So now I think my biggest objective is, as a nurse, nursing is a healing practice.
Of course, as is music.
Music is a healing practice, and my patients have always been diverse, multi-ethnicities, different age groups. I work primarily with children now. So
Well, let me ask you, do you sing to your patients? As part of your healing therapy?
I have not yet. But, see, here's how I look at that. When I sing a show, I look at them as my Patience, because a lot of people come into the club or the restaurant or wherever I am, or the church. I just did a gospel concert at Mount Zion Sunday, and they come in with a load, and you never know what that is. It could be romantic load, it could be a health load, it could be a financial load. So whatever I'm singing, a broken heart, whatever I'm singing to minister wherever I am. So yeah.
And speaking of wherever you am, can you tell our audience once again if you're going to be performing locally anytime soon, and or if they want to book you for a special event, give them everything you can so that they'll know to call you and pay you money.
I certainly will. I will be singing in Ashtabula County in keeping with increasing my territory, let's say.
You're expanding.
Yes, expanding. At Grand River Cellars on June 22nd. This is Sunday afternoon. And I'll be singing. Now this one I'll be kind of sitting in, and I'm looking forward to it, at Take 5. Take 5 is the official after party for the Tri-C Jazz Fest. And Sean Jones, trumpet player, came through and was listening to a set that I did at Take 5 a few weeks back, and he said, you know, you should learn these Woody Shaw pieces that have vocals. So I did, and I told him, I said, Sean, I'm going to have these too, so I'm planning on sitting in with him there. I have a show on Star Plaza at 12th and Euclid during rush hour outside.
Of
so
course.
That's a really nice one.
But you see that in New York.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
That's not until August, but those are some of the highlights of what
and then
I'm
we've
doing.
got your website and
Yes.
email so that people can contact you for weddings, bar mitzvahs, whatever.
Right, whatever.
Yeah.
My website is www.barbara.barandco.company.com. So barbaraandco.com. And then my, if you want to just send an email, you can send it to musicbybarbara@yahoo.com. I'm also on Facebook, Barbara and Company. And I'm on a bunch
Some of everything else.
Some of everything else.
Yeah. And I know nothing about Instagram, SoundCloud,
yes.
Reverb. They still have MySpace?
Reverb. Well, you know, I put that on there just because some promoters sometimes say, well, you have to have MySpace. And I'm thinking, you haven't been promoting in a while because MySpace has been gone. I have tracks on SoundCloud, Barbara and Company, and if you want to purchase Dawning or Joyous, or both, they're available on all the major online CD distributors, Amazon.com, iTunes, CD Baby, or you can get them from me directly by calling me, or, not calling, but by...
your email address is
better?
better?
My email address is better, yes. Because I
Okay.
check my email quite regularly.
Okay. Well, trying to keep up with all that, there should be no problem finding Barbara Barrett, Barbara B.J. Barrett Soror. But in what we always like to tell our audience, if you have any difficulty reaching our talent, certainly you can always contact us, wakeUp4664@AOL.com, or our website, wakeupandlives.org. And certainly we will put you in touch with any and all of our talent that you would like to perhaps make booking arrangements or whatever it may be. So with that, we're going to thank Ms. Barbara Barrett for stopping by and sharing her story and her music. You're going to get to hear a sample in just a second so that you can be even more excited about the beautiful jazz quality of her singing. So be sure, stay tuned, don't go away, and we will see Barbara real soon.